Good morning. It is Saturday, May the 2nd. It's embarkation day, so we are off on the Disney Dream today on the Eastbound Transatlantic from Fort Lauderdale to Barcelona. We've got a port arrival time of 12 to 12:15 and we're in boarding group 12, so just spending the morning at the hotel. We've got an Uber coming at 11:40?
11:40, yeah. So we've had a fairly relaxed start to the day. Popped down, grabbed some breakfast, some scrambled eggs and breakfast potatoes and bits and pieces, some juice. And then we've headed back to Sprouts again to stock up on some wine and beer for the cabin.
Yeah, and then in between those two we went to a coffee shop. I think it's called Crema. I'll pop the video in now.
Really nice coffee.
Yeah, had a latte and an Americano. A little expensive. It's got to be said.
Pretty expensive. You're right. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? So there's some things that seem a lot cheaper here than at home, and coffee is a lot more expensive. But it was really good coffee, so I can't complain.
Yeah. Agreed.
But it is 9:57, so we've got about an hour and 40 minutes till the Uber's coming. I think we're just going to see if we can find any Premier League football on the TV. Fingers crossed.
Disney Dream, please welcome aboard the Russell family!
Okay, so we are in. This is room 8598 on the Disney Dream. Now I'm going to get the name and category of it wrong, so have a little look in the caption down below, but it's something along the lines of a Deluxe Family Veranda room. And it's category 4 something, I think, but that will be down below. So as you come in through the door, on the left hand side we've got a couple of wardrobes. So half height one here with our life jackets, plenty of coat hangers, and then down below in the dark there we've got a safe and some shelving, and then next to that there's a full height one, so plenty of storage space. A little ladder in case you're using the drop down bed, which we won't be. On my right is the bathroom, but we'll come back to that later, and then that brings us through to the main part of the room. Hello. So we have got a queen size UK king size bed with some storage and little bedside tables on both sides of it. Sofa which converts into a bed, and there's a drop down bed up there, so this sleeps plenty when there's only two of us. Table there with a chair in the corner, so a nice little bit of extra space. Out the end here we've got the veranda. Not going to go out there right now. I think they have finished refueling, so I think we probably can, but just play it safe. But as you can see, Disney Cruise Line terminal at Port Everglades, and out there we've got a couple of seats and a table. So I turn back round along this side, so we've got the mirror, lots more storage. Under the blue hat on the end is a beverage cooler in the cupboard there. You can see the TV above it, big mirror. We have purchased the Luxury at Sea package, which has got us a little box of chocolates, some sparkling wine, a rose, and most interestingly these two robes on the bed, which we will show you at some point once we've unpacked them. We've also got some gifts for being Silver Castaway Club members. So we've got a tote bag, and there's a couple of lanyards there as well. So it's the same room as we've stayed in before. Well, We haven't stayed in this room, but it's the same category of room as we've stayed in before on the Disney Fantasy. In fact, I think on the Disney Fantasy we were literally one room next door. We liked the location, so we tried to get as close to it as we could again.
Okay, so this is the point at which we should show you the split bathroom in the cabin. We're not sure what happened, but we don't have any footage, which is why we've been a little bit hesitant to finish off this video and get it published. Best guess, either I did film it but didn't actually hit record, which has been known to happen, or at this point in the video was when our room host knocked on the door to say hello and I got distracted and never quite went back to it. But either way, hopefully you're so distracted by our lovely robes that you'll forgive us.
Okay, so going back to the subject of a split bathroom. Well, on a Disney ship, what that means is there are two separate rooms. One contains the tub shower combo and has a sink, and the other room has a toilet and also a sink. And added bonus, both rooms have a nice mirror. So that makes getting ready much easier, even with just the two of us.
Yeah, so while Colin's in the shower, I could put my makeup on in the other room or whatever. And it also meant that we had two sets of storage, which is very handy because I don't travel light. Now, as people will see in a minute when I model this robe, I'm quite short, so it's probably better if you answer the question as to whether or not the bathrooms were spacious enough.
Well, on most cruise ships that we've been on and we've seen, they're fairly small rooms, but they are very functional and they've made very good use of the space. I'm just under 6 foot tall and I never really felt cramped in the shower, shaving or using the toilet. And it was also nice, the shower had a rainfall as well as a handheld shower head.
As we mentioned in the video, we purchased the Luxury at Sea for Two romance package.
And reading from the Disney Cruise Line website, this includes 2 Disney Cruise Line branded robes, a bottle of savoury Bottega Spumante, and a box of decadent chocolates, and topped off with a beautiful red rose.
So including tax and a forced gratuity, it cost us $158.20, which when we purchased it in April ahead of our sailing was about £120. And if we run through those items backwards.
So the beautiful red rose, it lasted for a surprisingly long time. There was a lot of TLC from our room host and it survived well into the second week.
And the box of decadent chocolates contained 12 chocolates. They're a mix of white and milk chocolate and they were okay. Certainly not something I'd pay for, but it was nice to have something sweet to nibble on in the cabin over a few days.
The bottle of Spumante took us a while to get around to drinking, but was well worth it when we did. It's hard to get for less than £20 in the UK right now, and is a fresh, easy drinking Prosecco.
In a very pretty bottle. And that brings us to the two Disney Cruise Line branded robes. We'd heard good things about them, and so they were the main reason we bought the package. They're described as one size fits most, so let us show you what that means. Okay, so I'm 5'1" if I stand up really, really straight. And as you can see, the robe is down to just above my feet. So just hitting around my ankle bone, maybe slightly below. So I am tall enough for it, and therefore I guess it does fit. I have got the sleeves rather rolled up. If I were to unroll them, I would have rather more material than I might need. But it is very comfortable.
Right, 6 foot tall-ish, and as you can see, sleeves still rolled up a little bit, and it comes down to around about my calves, I would say. And I guess I could probably get away with the sleeves not rolled up. These robes are quite thick and really, really soft. Definitely very comfortable.
Yeah, I'm really glad we got them, and I can see why people recommend them. Obviously, we wouldn't purchase the package on every cruise, but if our robes do need replacing at some point in the future and we happen to have a Disney cruise booked, then I'd be happy to buy the package again. There are also other versions available. You can swap the Prosecco for Cloud and Blue, which is a non-alcoholic sparkling cider, and that reduces the cost of the package by $15. Or you can upgrade the Prosecco to an alcohol-removed sparkling wine, or to a cake bake sparkling rosé. That's hard to say. And most of the options are also available with just one robe. Pricing is a little bit weird there because depending on what drink you buy, only having one robe saves you between $40 and $45 before tax and gratuity.
So, whilst we're busy reviewing things, what did you think of the cabin?
Well, there's been a bit of a spoiler about that already, because I did mention during our room tour that we had previously stayed in an equivalent room on the Disney Fantasy, so obviously we must have liked it to have booked it again. I know some people say that the cabin doesn't matter because they just sleep in it, but for us that's not true. Particularly on a longer cruise like this one, we found that it's important for us to have a bit of space. Just somewhere to get away from the crowds, but also I enjoy reading on holiday, and it's nice to have a sofa in the cabin and be able to curl up on that and read.
We've been looking at other cruise lines since we disembarked, and I've been quite surprised by how challenging it is to get a cabin of equivalent size to this one. And even though we didn't use the balcony as much as I thought we would on a longer cruise, I really appreciated the natural light and the ability to bring some fresh air into the room if we wanted to.
Yeah, it was nice to sit out there with a drink as we sailed away from ports, and we also spent some time out on the balcony hoping to see dolphins and whales.
We didn't have any noise from the cabins on either side of us, or indeed above, apart from an occasional bit of balcony furniture being dragged around, but that was only for a matter of seconds. Corridor was very quiet too. In fact, we slept well, I think, throughout the whole cruise, although there was a bit of rocking and rolling around the Azores. So the bed must have been pretty comfortable.
So that's it for this video in terms of reviewing the cabin and the romance package. You'll have seen a little bit of footage in the video from our embarkation experience. The original plan was to film a whole series of videos across the cruise, starting with the Brightline and Hyatt House videos that we've already published, and then continuing for each of the days of the cruise. It didn't take us long to realise though that following the stress of the house build, the long distance move and the not quite finished new house, what we really needed was a proper holiday and a chance to relax, and therefore we didn't film much of what we intended to. We just turned the camera off and in fact turned our phones off and left them in the safe.
Yeah, that means instead of a whole series of videos about the cruise, we've just got one to come. That'll talk through the experience from embarkation to debarkation, including some stuff about the ports, food and drink on board, including 3 different experiences in Paolo, which is definitely worth reviewing, and the activities, and will probably be out towards the end of August or early September.
In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing.
And we'll be back next Wednesday with a new video. We hope to see you then.